Welcome to the Madison Miller Podcast. Today is Monday, April 18th, 2022. Today I'm going to recap the weekend's NBA play-in and playoff games, look ahead to tonight's games. NHL, Major League Baseball, will go over the weekend's games, look ahead to tonight. Look back on Major League Soccer's games from the weekend. Golf, NASCAR, my latest MLB power rankings. Last night's episode of American Idol, news and notes, and best bets. So a lot to do today. NBA playoffs is where we'll start. We'll start with the play-in games from Friday night, which had a lot of subplots to it. The Hawks beat the Cavs 107-101. Jared Allen came back, but it wasn't enough. Trae Young had 38 points and 9 assists. Larry Markin had 26 and 8 boards. Pelicans over the Clippers 105-101. Paul George tested positive for COVID, so he had to miss the game. And the Pelicans took advantage. Brandon Ingram, 30 points and 6 assists. Marcus Morris had 27. And now the results from Saturday. Jazz over the Mavericks 99-93. Luka Doncic did not play. Jazz 1-0 series lead. Donovan Mitchell, 32.6 assists. Jalen Brunson had 24 and 7. Timberwolves over the Grizzlies 130-117 as Minnesota takes a 1-0 series lead. Anthony Edwards had 36 points. Ja Morant, 32 points and 8 assists. 76ers over the Raptors 131-111 as Phillies up 1-0. Tyrese Maxey, 38 points. Pascal Siakam had 24. And the Warriors over the Nuggets 123-107 as the Warriors go up 1-0. Jordan Poole, 30 points. And Nikola Jokic, 25, 10, and 6. Yesterday, Miami over Atlanta, 115-91 as the Heat take a 1-0 series lead. Duncan Robinson, 27 points. And Danilo Gallinari led Atlanta in scoring with 17. Celtics over the Nets, 115-114 as the Celtics take a 1-0 series lead, courtesy of a game-winning layup at the buzzer by Jason Tatum. As Tatum led Boston with 31 points and 8 assists. Kyrie Irving, 39 points and 6 assists. Bucks over the Bulls, 93-86 as the Bucks take a 1-0 series lead. Giannis Antetokounmpo, 27 points, 16 boards. And Nikola Vucevic had 24 and 17 for the Bulls. And the Suns over the Pelicans, 110-99 as the Suns take a 1-0 series lead. So home team's 4-0 yesterday. Chris Paul, 30 points, 10 assists. So he looked like the Chris Paul of old. CJ McCollum, 25 points and 6 assists. All right, 3 games tonight, 7:30 on TNT. I have the Raptors and the Sixers, Game 2 from Philly. My projection is Sixers by 5, total 217 and a fifth. And it is, let's see here, Philly by 7, total 217. I'm going to take the Raptors getting to 7. I think this is a good bounce-back spot for Toronto. I think there's a possibility they win this game outright. If not, Philly will be in excellent shape as they would be up 2-0 going to Toronto without Matthias Thybulle, who's not vaccinated. So, obviously, you can only be vaccinated to play in Canada. And Thybulle is one of the players we know that's not. So give me the Raptors getting to 7. Big spot for Toronto. If they want to win this series, they have to steal on the road. I think this could be it. Next up, you have the Jazz and the Mavericks, 8:30 on NBA TV. My projection is Utah by 3.5, total 216 and 13/20. And it's 5.5 and 205.5. I like the over a lot. I think that's a low total. I think that Donovan Mitchell could have a big game, or even someone on Dallas like a Brunson or somebody like that. So I like the over in this spot. Over in the Mavs plus the 5.5 in the same game would be neat. And at 10 o'clock, TNT Nuggets Warriors Game 2. My projection is Golden State by 6, total 219 and 19/20. And it's 7 and 223.5. I like the under. I think there will be more defense than you think played in this game. So, I'm going to go under 223.5 is my pick for this game. I don't know who will win, though, is the question. Alrighty. We'll now move on to the NHL. We'll recap the games from the weekend and look ahead to everything going on tonight. Friday, Isles over the Habs 3-0, Panthers over the Jets 6-1. Saturday, Bruins over the Pens 2-1, Rangers over the Red Wings 4-0, Preds over the Blackhawks 4-3, Blues over the Wild 6-5 in OT on an overtime winner by Braden Shen. Oilers over the Golden Knights 4-0, Sabres over the Flyers 4-3, Caps over the Habs 8-4, Leafs over the Sens 5-4 in OT on a game winner by Mark Giordano. Lightning over the Jets 7-4, Stars over the Sharks 2-1, Avs over the Hurricanes 7-4, Flames over the Coyotes 9-1, Kraken over the Devils 4-3 in a shootout, and the Kings over the Blue Jackets 2-1. Yesterday, Panthers over Red Wings 6-1, Sabres over the Flyers 5-3, Blues over the Preds 8-3, Wild over the Sharks 5-4 in overtime on a game winner by Jared Spurgeon. Leafs over the Isles 4-2, and the Ducks over the Jackets 6-4. Tonight's slate only 6 games, some big ones too. 8 o'clock, you have the Flames and the Blackhawks. The Flames are clinched, but they don't have a division crown yet. The only team with the division crown so far is the Avs. So, it's going to be interesting. Calgary's playing for that division title. They're minus 330 in Chicago. The Blackhawks are plus 260 over under 6.5. Overs plus 104. Unders minus 128. Calgary minus 1.5 is minus 118. Blackhawks plus 1.5 is minus 102. I'm going to go with the over. I love the over in that spot. NHL Network at 9 o'clock. The Capitals and the Avalanche. The Avalanche are still playing for the President's Trophy. The Caps are playing for playoff positioning because they can sneak into the top 3 in the Metro. The Avs are minus 215. The Capitals are plus 176. Over under 6.5. Overs minus 122. Unders even money. Caps plus 1.5 is minus 144. Avs minus 1.5 is plus 120. I'm going to go with the under. I think Darcy Kemper will play well, and I think whoever's starting for Washington, I can see having a nice effort here. This could be like a 4-2 game. 10 o'clock, Hurricanes, Coyotes. Coyotes are obviously not playing for nothing. Carolina playing for first in the Metro. Is they're dead even with the Rangers, and they both have 6 games to go. Carolina is minus 400. Arizona is plus 310. Over under 6.5. Or 6, my bad. Overs minus 114. Others minus 106. Carolina minus 1.5 is minus 144. Arizona plus 1.5 is plus 120. I'm going to go with the over at minus 114. I think Carolina could do it by themselves. Devils, Golden Knights. Golden Knights playing for their playoff lives. Where things stand right now, they're 4 back of the wild card. 4. They have to win this game against the Devils tonight. Vegas is minus 320. Devils plus 225. Or 55 over under 6.5. Overs minus 115. Unders minus 105. Devils plus 1.5 is plus 105. Vegas minus 1.5 is minus 126. I like the over a ton. Senators, Kraken. Kraken minus 118. Sens minus 102. Over under 6. Overs minus 105. Unders minus 115. Sens plus 1.5 is minus 275. Seattle minus 1.5 is plus 120. Or plus 220. I'm going to go with the contrarian over. Because neither of these teams are good in net. And last but not least, 10:30, the biggest game of the evening. Stars, Canucks. Canucks playing for their playoff lives. Dallas is the minus 120 favorite. Canucks even money over under 6. Overs plus 104. Unders minus 128. Dallas minus 120. Minus 1.5 is plus 235. Vancouver plus 1.5 is minus 295. Vancouver's been so good of late. If they lose this game, they're done. Although I said this about them on a ton of podcasts in the past. I actually think they're going to win tonight at even money. I really do. They need this game so bad, and so does Dallas. Because say they lose and Vegas beats the Devils, they drop to the last playoff spot. Well, they have a game in hand on Nashville. That's why they're ahead of them in the standings technically. They each have 91 points. Vegas can get within 2, and then Vancouver can get within 5. So this is going to get a little murkier, I think. So I think Vancouver's going to beat them outright at even money. All right, Major League Baseball, we'll go over the games from the weekend and look ahead to today's games. I'm going to do rapid fire, similar to like I did the hockey results. Friday, Mets over D-backs 10-3, Twins over the Red Sox 8-4, Nats over the Pirates 7-2, Marlins over the Phillies 7-1, Orioles over the Yankees 2-1, 11 on a walk-off walk by Ramon Urias on the Orioles. Blue Jays over the A's 4-1, Giants over the Guardians 4-1, White Sox over the Rays 3-2, Angels over the Rangers 9-6, Tigers over Royals 2-1, Cardinals over the Bruins 10-1, Rockies over the Cubs 6-5, Braves over the Padres 5-2, Mariners over the Astros 11-1, and the Dodgers over the Reds 3-1. Saturday, D-backs over the Mets 3-2, White Sox over the Rays 3-2, A's over the Blue Jays 7-5, Braves over the Padres 5-2, Royals over the Tigers 3-1, Red Sox over the Twins 4-0, Phils over the Marlins 10-3, Giants over the Guardians 4-2, Pirates over the Nats 6-4, Angels over the Rangers 7-2, Yanks over the Orioles 5-2, Cardinals over the Brewers 2-1, Rocks over the Cubs 9-6, Astros over the Mariners 4-0, and the Dodgers over the Reds 5-2. Sunday, Orioles over the Yanks 5-0, Red Sox over the Twins 8-1, Pirates over the Nats 5-3, Blue Jays over the A's 4-3, Mets over the D-backs 5-0, Marlins over the Phils 11-3, Giants over the Guardians 8-1, Brewers over the Cardinals 6-5, Rays over the White Sox 9-3, Angels over the Rangers 8-3, Cubs over the Rockies 6-4, Dodgers over the Reds 9-1, Mariners over the Astros 7-2, Padres over the Braves 2-1. On Friday Night Baseball, Tigers Royals postponed makeup date July 11th. A much lighter window for today compared to the weekend. We have the Patriot game today between the Twins and the Red Sox from Fenway, Dylan Bundy and Rich Hill. The Red Sox are minus 156. The Twins are plus 132. Over under 8.5. Overs minus 120. Unders minus 102. Twins plus 1.5 is minus 164. Red Sox minus 1.5 is plus 136. For this game, I'm going to go with the tie after 5 at plus 490. 6 o'clock, White Sox Guardians. Dallas Keuchel and Tristan McKenzie. White Sox are plus 108. Guardians minus 126. Over under 7.5. Overs minus 106. Unders minus 114. White Sox plus 1.5 is minus 215. Guardians minus 1.5 is plus 176. I like the over a lot. D-backs Nats at 7. Madison Bumgarner and Josiah Gray. Nats minus 148. D-backs plus 126. Over under 8. Overs minus 115. Unders minus 105. D-backs plus 1.5 is minus 168. Nats minus 1.5 is plus 138. I'm going to do the draw after 5 again. Plus 490. Giants Mets. Alex Cobb and Tyler McGill. Mets minus 126. Giants plus 108. Over under 6.5. Overs minus 128. Unders plus 104. Giants plus 1.5 is minus 200. Mets minus 1.5 is plus 164. Tough one. I'm going to do the same thing. Draw after 5. Plus 410. 7:30 Pirates Brewers. Zach Thompson and Eric Lauer. Brewers minus 184. Pirates plus 154. Over under 8.5. Overs minus 114. Unders minus 106. Pittsburgh plus 1.5 is minus 125. Brewers minus 1.5 is plus 104. I'm going to go with the Pirates first half plus 146. Rays Cubs. Shane McClanahan and Kyle Hendricks. Rays minus 146. Cubs plus 124. Over under 8.5. Overs minus 104. Unders minus 118. Rays minus 1.5 is plus 116. Cubs plus 1.5 is minus 140. I'm going with the Cubs as a home dog to win outright. Kyle Hendricks and Wrigley Field. Good match. I like the Cubs. 8 o'clock. Angels Astros. Michael Lorenzen and Luis Garcia. Astros minus 166, Angels plus 140, over under 9, overs minus 108, unders minus 112. Angels plus 1.5 is minus 140, Astros minus 1.5 is plus 116. Tough one. I'm going to go with first half result tie plus 550. 8:30, Phillies Rockies, Aaron Nola and Chad Cole. Phillies minus 168, Rockies plus 142, over under 11. Overs minus 105, unders minus 115. Phillies minus 1.5 is minus 114, Rockies plus 1.5 is minus 105. I'm going under 11 minus 115. That's way too high. 9:30, Orioles Athletics, Spencer Watkins and Frankie Montas. A's minus 198, Orioles plus 164, over under 7.5. Overs minus 104, unders minus 118. Orioles plus 1.5 is minus 125. A's minus 1.5 is plus 104. I'm going to go with the over. I think this is high of a line, and I don't think the Orioles are very good, although Frankie Montas is very good. The A's aren't. So I like the over. Over 7.5 at minus 104. Reds Padres, Nick Lodolo and Sean Manaea. Padres minus 176, Reds plus 148, over under 7.5, overs minus 108, unders minus 112. Reds plus 1.5 is minus 154, Padres minus 1.5 is plus 128. Another over 7.5, minus 108, love it. And 10 o'clock, the Braves and the Dodgers NLCS preview. I know it's a rematch of the last two. Huascar Yanoa and Clayton Kershaw. Dodgers minus 225, Braves plus 188, over under 8, overs minus 114, unders minus 106. Braves plus 1.5 is minus 115, Dodgers minus 1.5 is minus 104. I'm going to go Braves run line plus 1.5 is minus 115 is my pick here. I think this is going to be a closer game. I don't know if the Braves will win outright, but I think it'll be closer than the experts think. Major League Soccer, we'll go over the games from the weekend. And it was an interesting weekend, to say the least. Saturday, Montreal over Vancouver 2-1. San Jose and Nashville 2-2 draw. Atlanta, Cincinnati 0-0 draw. Houston, Portland 0-0 draw. Red Bull, Dallas 0-0 draw. Orlando over Columbus 2-0. New England over Charlotte 2-1. Toronto over Philly 2-1. Chicago, LA Galaxy 0-0 draw. Austin over DC United 3-2. Minnesota over Colorado 3-1. Miami over Seattle 1-0. And then yesterday, NYCFC over Salt Lake 6-0. Wow. And LAFC over Kansas City 3-1. All right, now move on to golf. Heritage Classic. I'll give out your results. And your winner was in a playoff with a score of 13 under. Playoff score of 4. Jordan Spieth. And in second place with the score of 13 under and a playoff score of 5, Patrick Cantlay. Tied for third with 12 under, Cam Young, Cam Davis, Shane Lowry, Harold Varner III, JT Potton, Sepp Straka, and Matt Kuchar. Tied for 10th with 11 under, Evan Van Rooyen and Tommy Fleetwood. Tied for 12th with 9 under, Joel Diamond, Corey Connors, Tyler Duncan, Adam Long, Cam Triangle, Sam Piercy, Joaquin Neiman, Matthew Neesmith, and Troy Merritt. Tied for 21st with 8 under, Daniel Berger, Gray McDowell, Brett Horschel, Aaron Weiss, and Sun Jae-im. Tied for 26 with 7 under, Mito Pereira, Kevin Na, Tyrell Hatton, Maverick McNeely, Patton Kazir, Brendan Todd, Colin Ruiqua, Adam Hadwin, and Adam Svebson. Tied for 35th with 6 under, Doug Gim, Brandon Grace, Jason Kokrak, Hudson Swafford, Justin Thomas, Wyndham Clark, Brian Harmon. Tied for 42nd with 5 under, Saiwoo Kim, Peter Malnati, Alex Loren, Robert Streb, Ian Poulter, and Cheng Sun Pan. Tied for 48th with 4 under, Lucas Glover, Doc Redman, Joseph Brumlett. Tied for 51st with 3 under, Pat Perez, Danny Willett, and Brian Gay. Tied for 54th with 2 under, Henrik Stetson and Charles Schwartzel. Tied for 56th with 1 under, Lucas Donald, Dylan McCarthy, and Joaquin Herman. Tied for 59th at even, Roger Sloan, Ben Martin, Julio Vegas, Brendan Haas, Matthias Schwab, Webb Simpson, and Chad Ramey. Now to go through notables. Tied for 66th with 1 over, Dylan Fratelli. 68th with 3 over, Stuart Sink. 69th with 4 over, Brock Stewart. Among those cuts, Sam Ryder, Henry Higgs, James Hahn, Richie Wierenski, Kevin Kisner, Chris Kirk, Ryan Henley, Cam Smith, Dustin Johnson, Russell Knox, Michael Thompson, Chasen Hadley, J.J. Spawn, Alex Smalley, Emiliano Grillo, Henrik Norlander, Kangu Lee, Dylan Lee, Danny Lee, Adam Putnam, Taylor Hogue, Bryce Garnett, Brent Snecker, Kramer Hickok, Charles Howell III, Luke List, Nate Lashley, Nick Watney, Scott Stallings, Mackenzie Hughes, Adam Shank, Ricky Fowler, Matt Trainer, Sodi Koyara, Mariano Gillick, Bayo Hostler, Chesver V, and Zach Johnson and Brandon Hagee withdrew. So no golf until the Mexico Championship. So that is next weekend. So no golf next weekend. It's a bye week for golf. And then Mexico, Wells Fargo, Brian Nelson, and then to the PGA. So we have a couple more to go until the PGA. All right, NASCAR from the weekend. We just had Trucks and Cup this weekend. From Bristol. We'll start with Trucks. Your winner, Ben Rhodes. Second, Carson Hocevar. Third, John Hunter Nemechek. Fourth, Parker Kligerman. Fifth, Christian X. Sixth, Joey Logano. Seventh, Chase Elliott. Eighth, Grant Effinger. Ninth, Matt Crafton. 10th, Zane Smith. Stuart Freyson. Colby Howard. Chase Purdy. Austin Dillon. Tanner Gray. Dean Thompson. Mike Marlar. Haley Deegan. Chandler Smith. Harrison Burton. Ty Majeski. Jack Wood. Timmy Hill. Spencer Boyd. Blaine Perkins. Kaz Gralla. Buddy Kofoid. Tate Fogelman. Derek Kraus. Wallace Allen. Tyler Ankrum. Andrew Gordon. Chris Wright. Keith McGee. Matt DiBendetto. And Austin Wayne South. And the Cup Series results. Your winner, Kyle Busch. I almost went with Kyle, but I went with Kurt instead. And it bit me in the butt. Second, Tyler Riddick. Third, Joey Logano. Fourth, Kyle Larson. Fifth, Ryan Blaney. Sixth, Alec Bowman. Seventh, Chris Bell. Eighth, Chase Elliott. Ninth, Michael McDowell. 10th, Ty Dillon. The rest, Brad Keselowski, Dylan Suarez, Cole Custer, Justin Haley, Chris Boucher, Austin Cindric, Todd Gilliland, William Byron, Corey LaJoy, Harrison Burton, Martin Truex Jr., Chase Briscoe, Eric Almirola, Eric Jones, Josh Williams, Cody Ware, Noah Gragson, Bubba Wallace, Ricky Stenhouse Jr., J.J. Yeley, Austin Dillon, Kurt Busch, Ross Chaston, Kevin Harvick, Denny Hamlin, and Justin Allgaier. All right, now quickly I'm going to do my Major League Baseball power rankings for this week. No specific team. I'm just going to go over record, run differential, and all that fun stuff. At 30, I have the Texas Rangers. They are 2-7 on the year. -10 run differential. 29 is the Baltimore Orioles, 3-6 on the year. -9 run differential. Tied for 28th, the Cincinnati Reds, 2-8 on the year. -24 run differential. 27, the Arizona Diamondbacks, 3-6 on the year. -20 run differential. 26, the Washington Nationals, 4-7 on the year. -16 run differential. Number 25, the Pittsburgh Pirates, 5-4 on the year, -1 run differential. That's what's keeping them out of the bottom 5. Number 24, the Kansas City Royals, 3-5 on the year, -16 run differential. Number 23 is the Minnesota Twins, 3-6 on the year, -11 run differential. Number 22, the Detroit Tigers, 4-5 on the year, -12 run differential. Number 21 is the Oakland Athletics, 5-5 on the year, +10 run differential. They're a very big surprise so far. Still in the bottom 10, though. Number 20 is the Chicago Cubs. They're a surprising 5-4 to start the year, +7 run differential. 19, the Philadelphia Phillies, 4-6 on the year, -9 run differential. Number 18 is the Miami Marlins, 4-5 on the year, +2 run differential. Number 17 is the Cleveland Guardians, 4-5 on the year, +11 run differential. Number 16, the Colorado Rockies, 6-3 on the year, +8 run differential. You can make a case for one of these next 4 teams for most disappointing teams so far. 15, the Milwaukee Brewers, 5-5 on the year, run differential of -13. Yikes. 31-44 is like their for and against runs. Number 14, the New York Yankees, 5-5 on the year, +1 run differential, 30-29. Their pitching's doing a job, but they're just not hitting. 13, the Tampa Bay Rays. You can make a case they should be switched. But no, they're not switched because the Yankees lost 2 out of 3 to the Orioles. And I know Tampa did lose a couple to the Athletics, but the Athletics might not be as terrible as we think. So this may not look as bad. So they're also 5-5. Even run differential, 44-44. Number 12, the Atlanta Braves. They're 5-6 on the year, -9 run differential. That's a 46-55. So I feel like I'm giving the Braves a little bit of a benefit of the doubt, but them and the Brewers have probably been the worst of the 2 teams based on run differential. But the Yankees aren't hitting, and then the Rays, I don't know, that's just a little weird. Well, the Brewers aren't hitting either. The Braves their pitching has just regressed. 11, I have the Seattle Mariners. They're 5-5, +4 run differential. Now we're in the top 10. 10's the Boston Red Sox. They're 5-4, +7 run differential. 9, the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim, 6-4 in the year. First place, Anaheim. +3 run differential. They've won 3 in a row. 8 is the Houston Astros. They are 5-4 on the year, -1 run differential. That's not good. They're like the Yankees. They're not hitting either, and their pitching's getting the job done. They're lucky that they're 5-4. They're very similar to the Yankees of how they've started off the season as well. Number 7 is the Toronto Blue Jays. They're 6-4 on the year, -3 run differential. Number 6 is the St. Louis Cardinals, 5-3 on the year. First place St. Louis Cardinals, +14 run differential. They've been good. Number 5, the San Diego Padres. 6-5 on the year, +5 run differential. I just love the Padres. I know their record's not very good, but I think that they're good. Number 4 is the Chicago White Sox. First place in their division, 6-3, +6 run differential. Number 3, the New York Mets. 7-3 on the year, +26 run differential. They've been really killing teams. I mean, they've had an easy schedule, though. That's why they're number 3. Number 2, the San Francisco Giants, 7-4 on the year, +23 run differential. I doubted this team before the year, and now I have them number 2 in my power rankings. They've had some nice series wins. And, I mean, come on. The Dodgers might be a number 1 the whole season. You never know. 7-2 on the year, +27 run differential. You can't tell me that there's a team better than the Dodgers out there. They've won 6 straight. They're so good. They hit, they pitch, they do everything. There's a reason I picked them to win the World Series before the year. All right, American Idol last night. The top 23 went. Somebody dropped out. We'll get into that in news and notes, which I didn't know about until last night. The top 20 was revealed. It was a good episode, to say the least. First up to go in the top 20, Emerson Flora performing Tell Me You Love Me by Demi Lovato. I thought she was outstanding. Mike Parker, Chasing After You by Ryan Hurd and Maren Morris. I thought he was really good. Then went Tristan Gressett performing Sacrifice by The Weeknd. Very groovy performance. Sage performed Rhiannon by Fleetwood Mac. Then Jay went and performed You Know I'm No Good by Amy Winehouse. Then it was a special performance by last year's Idol winner Chase Beckham performing his song Doing It Right. Then went Nicolina performing The Edge of 17 by Stevie Nicks. Then went Jacob Moran, Don't You Worry About a Thing by Stevie Wonder. Then went Hunter Girl performing Heartbreak Down, her original. Ellie Rowe went next, Somewhere Only We Know by Keane. Dan Marshall performed Friends in Low Places by Garth Brooks. Then it was a special performance by Alejandro Aranda, The Darkness. He was really good, a former Idol contestant. Then went Ava Maybe performing Anyone by Demi Lovato. Then went Allegra Miles performing Free Fallin' by Tom Petty. Noah Thompson went next performing Falling by Harry Styles. Leah Marlene performed Heal by Tom Odell. Christian Gordino performed Imagine by John Lennon. And then it was a special performance to the season 10 winner Philip Phillips performing his new song Love Like That. Then went Fritz Hager performing When the Party's Over by Billie Eilish. Then went Katrina Love performing Dream by Bishop Briggs. Then went Cameron Whitcomb performing Changes by Black Sabbath. Then went Cadence Baker with Trainwreck by James Arthur. Then performing Lady K, Love on the Brain by Rihanna. And then among those voted off, Scarlett, Danielle, and Sir Blake. Which, everybody's good now. You have all good performers, so it's going to be sad to see anybody go. Alright, now I'm going to predict who makes the top 10, and then who the judges will keep to make a top 14. So obviously the show is on tonight at 8 o'clock. It's a 2-hour show. Live reveal. And it's going to be a fun show, obviously. So my picks for the top 10. Emerson Flora. Mike Parker, Nicolina, Jacob Moran, Hunter Girl, Allegra Miles, Christian Gordino, Farit Hager, Candace Baker, Lady K. And then the rest of the top 14, the judges' picks. I have a feeling they're going to keep Tristan. Give him one more shot. I think they will keep Jay. So I think that's going to be a little bit of an upset. That Jay not being in the top 10. But I think he'll get a save. Dan Marshall, I think they are going to keep. And Ava maybe. So I have going home Cameron, Katria, Leah, Ellie, Sage. So it should be a fun episode. And we'll start news and notes today by discussing the contestant who dropped out, who I thought was the front runner to win the whole thing, in Kennedy Anderson. She dropped out due to personal reasons. It's just really sad. I thought Kennedy was going to win. She was so talented. She was beautiful. And apparently Ryan said it during the Hawaii episode, but I just missed it. So that's my apologies, guys, for Kennedy thinking that she was still in it. And obviously that opened the door for somebody else, because I think she would have been guaranteed in the top 10. I thought she was that good. I thought she was going to win, like I said. So it's just really sad that she's out. Hopefully she'll return next year. But I don't know if you make it that far, you could come back. I know the rule used to be if you fall short of the top 24 in like the Fox era of the show, then you can come back. And if you were in the top, made the top 24, then you can't come back, which makes sense. So we're just gonna do pop culture news and news first, because we were talking about Idol. Liz Sheridan from Seinfeld passes away at the age of 93. That's really sad. God bless Liz. 93. She lived a great life. Thoughts and prayers to Jerry. And the rest of the family and whatnot. That's sad news. And now sports news and notes. Amani Bates is leaving Memphis just after 1 year with the Tigers. That is not good for Penny Hardaway and the Tigers. We'll see where Bates lands. Debo Samuel, A.J. Brown, and Terry McLaurin to skip workouts as they want new contracts before participating in on-field workouts. This is going to be tumultuous for those teams involved. And Debo says that he received death threats as he posted a video on Instagram saying that he received death threats and racist messages, which is really sad. Death threats and racist messages. Like, people are just so sick. Hopefully Debo gets that contract done and is back. He's some player. NHL had its highest scoring weekend after setting a record with 153 goals this weekend. The league is on pace for its highest scoring season since 1996, Which makes a lot of sense because we're seeing a lot of these lopsided like games, like 8-3. Like you're seeing baseball scores in hockey this year, which is wild. Kyrie Irving, after losing to the Celtics, he stuck up the middle finger. Just typical Kyrie. I'm sorry. Like, he's not mature. You know he has a chip on his shoulder because he was on the Celtics. He was traded there, and then he left to go to Brooklyn to play with Durant. So, I mean, they could still win the series. I mean, they came close to winning Game 1. And they need Ben Simmons to come back, I think. Even though Ben Simmons has had playoff failures in the past. But they need, like, another body to me. And if Simmons is motivated, then they can go on a run here. The NBA Award Finalists came out yesterday. And there were some really interesting finalists for some of the awards. The MVP finalists are Giannis, Embiid, and Jokic. You knew that was a guarantee. Rookie of the Year finalists Scotty Barnes, Cade Cunningham, Evan Mobley. That's correct to me. Sixth Man of the Year, Tyler Harrow, Cam Johnson, Kevin Love. Makes sense. Defensive Player of the Year, Mikal Bridges, Rudy Gobert, Marcus Smart. I mean, that's crazy. Where's Jaren Jackson Jr.? Too much favoritism towards Rudy Gobert. Most Improved Player, Ja Morant, Darius Garland, and DeJounte Murray. Ja will probably win, but he was already good. Like, Garland makes sense for Most Improved Player. Young player and made a leap, helping his team to the playoffs. Or it would be the veteran that's been around a while and had a career year, like Murray and like Julius Randle last year. An NBA Coach of the Year, Taylor Jenkins, Eric Spoelstra, and Monty Williams. I think Jenkins and Williams are your top two for this award. So those are your award finalists. And John Moran came out with his takes. He thought that Jaren Jackson Jr. should have been in play for Defensive Player of the Year. He said that Desmond Bane took a major leap this season, should be on MIP list instead of himself. Very selfless, John Moran. And then he says, congrats, coach, you deserve that award. Yeah. Like, I love John Morant. He's going to be a great player in this league for a long time. And if he wasn't hurt, I would have considered picking him for the MVP. Even though the team was decent without him. That's because the team was actually good. And I think they were lucky in some of those games with the opponents they were playing. In those games without Ja. TD Garden trolls Bruce Brown as they didn't forget Brown's comments about Horford and Theis. Willie Green had a great speech that went viral. And it really inspired the team late in the game for them to come back and win that game. Masson calls out the Yankees and the Lakers in one tweet after the Orioles won the series. It was a big yikes. Now, where's the Cowboys in that tweet? Where's the Knicks in that tweet? Where's thinking of some other teams like in that same like kind of boat. But Yankees, Lakers, really Cowboys and Knicks are like the four that stand out. And then I guess the Montreal Canadiens, the Maple Leafs even, but the Maple Leafs are good and so are the Cowboys. That's why they don't belong in there. I mean, or they're good right now. And the Yankees are 500, so obviously they deserve the comparisons to the Lakers early on. They could be this year's Lakers, like from like a baseball's Lakers. That'd be really, really bad. But nothing's topping the disaster that was the Lakers season. I'm sorry. But it's just funny of Masson to do that, taking a shot at the Yankees and the Lakers. Randy Arozarena had a bat flip strikeout, which was weird, after a questionable strike 3. Hunter Green sets a major league record for the most 100-mile-an-hour pitches in a game in 39. Did it in 5 1/3 innings. So Ronald Acuna Jr. will begin his rehab assignment on Tuesday night in AAA, which is huge. Mike Trout day-to-day after getting hit by a pitch. Javi Baez to the 10-day injured list with a thumb injury. The Yankees are playing the Tigers this week. They better take advantage of that. Byron Buxton avoids serious injury, but will require a week off or so after getting hurt against the Red Sox. Ronald Acuna is on pace for an early May return. It looks like it's going to be sooner than that. Yordan Alvarez on the injured list for health and safety protocols. Casey Mize on the injured list with elbow soreness. So a lot of injuries for the Tigers. That's really, really bad for them. Steve Cohen is unwilling to top Yankees' reported offer to sign Aaron Judge in his impending free agency. So Steve Cohen's smart. Steve Cohen and the Mets front office and Sandy Alderson, those guys are thinking a lot like Brian Cashman and the Steinburners here. It looks like. Really does look like it. So that's Judge being ridiculous, thinking he's Mike Trout and he's not. So the Yankees, the Mets, what they just did is make the Yankees look a whole lot better here. Aaron Boone got ejected after the game on Friday night, in which they lost on a walk-off walk. He thought that Chapman should have gotten the strikeout, but the pitch was out of the zone. Come on. There's a lot of bad calls in that game, but let's face it, the Yankees lost that game because it's the same reason why they're sitting pretty at 500. They can't hit. They're not hitting right now. Listen, I do think it'll eventually turn because it's cold out. Usually, the same thing happened to them last year, where they got this slow start. Last year was probably worse because they were like under 500 last year. And Gary Sanchez was playing terrible defensively. Last year was a lot worse because they were under 500. At least their division's bad at the moment right now. Like Tampa and Toronto have underachieved so far this year too, in my opinion. So the Panthers are among the favorites to line Baker Mayfield, and Robbie Anderson doesn't like that. He responds on Instagram, "No." Trey Lance thinks he'll be the guy next year amid Jimmy G trade rumors. So we'll see if Jimmy G is traded at the draft. Then we'll know. The Colts work out Desmond Ridder and a number of Bearcats wide receivers. That's interesting. Dan Campbell doesn't like Kayvon Thibodeau and has concerns about how he'll fit into the Lions culture. Yikes. Spencer Rattler says Oklahoma was toxic. And now he's transferring to South Carolina, which is crazy. Number 5 overall pick in the WNBA draft, Nyara Sabally will miss the 2022 season due to an injury. That is just really stinky for the Liberty, who are expected to make a pretty big jump this year. And that's a big loss for them. And they have a good team, though. They already had a decent team without the first rounder, but it just hurts from a development standpoint. All right, last but not least, my best bet of the day, brought to you by FanDuel. Interesting number of places where I can go, but there's 2 baseball totals I love. I'm going to go over 7.5 between the Reds and the Padres for best bet. I'm going to lay a unit on it. Nick Lodolo has only pitched in one game. I think the Padres can go over that by themselves, and I think that the Reds bullpen can get knocked around too. So, I'm going to go over with the Reds and the Padres as my best bet of the day. So there you have it for today's show. I'll be back tomorrow recapping everything, looking ahead to everything going on tomorrow. NFL mock draft I'll have tomorrow as well. And I'm going to have my buddy George Brew on the podcast tomorrow night. I haven't had him on in a long time. So that should be really interesting. And then James Celestin maybe Thursday night. So we'll see about that. So I hope you guys have a great day, everyone.